founder of Signs Australia, which was first come to light back in 1988. So anyway, which is a long time. So I've been doing that, and I thought, 3 years ago, nearly to the day, I think I was working out at the Barellan jail for 3 years on and off, and the biggest stint was for about a year. And I was driving there along the freeway day in day out, following all these other tradies, and just looking at all the cargo nets. And in Queensland and New South Wales, it's actually law that you have to have a net on the back of your ute to stop all the stuff falling out the back, which is a fair bit of this in the PowerPoint. And then I thought, well, how can I brand that net? How can I put someone's name on that net? Anyway, thought about it, and with technology and all that, this new mesh material's been on the market for a few years now, and I thought, well, that's what I'll do. I'll try that. And anyway, the weird thing about it was that the more I thought about it, I thought, yeah, this is a good idea. And within about 15 minutes of following this tradies ute, the name just popped in my head, LogoNet. That's it. That's the one. So that was pretty exciting. I thought, okay. And then I thought, how easy is this idea? Because there's only 3 types of cab chassis utes on the market. There's the dual cab, which you got the seat in the back, the extra cab, which is the little part behind the driver's seat, and the cab chassis, which is like my ute. It's just a standard cab and a tray at the back. So I thought, okay, it's only 3 sizes. It's getting better. So that means I only have to do basically 3 templates and happy days. And then I thought, okay, so then the prototype started about 8 months ago, I suppose. Getting the prototypes together, and then I noticed that all of the utes that you see driving around with trays on the back have got a toolbox on them. Most of them have. And I thought, oh, okay. So I got one of the prototypes, and I got another one made bigger, and I hung it over the toolbox, and it looked good because the middle of the graphics on the middle of the ute was up higher. Looked great on 2 sides and pretty shit on where the toolbox side is, so that's not going to work. So then I thought, okay, so I'll section out the toolbox. So okay, that was easy. So I did another prototype. It works fine. And then I realised that, hang on a minute, some people have got their toolboxes on the passenger side, and other people have got their toolbox on the driver's side. Okay, so my templates are multiplying gradually, and then I realised that there's actually more than one size toolbox. So, so I went from 3 templates and still working on them, and I'm up to 35. Yeah, so anyway, the good news about it is that they'll be finished hopefully on the weekend, and it's all part of my intellectual property, so that's pretty good. And through, a few people know that I've been involved with Business Blueprint for a couple of years now, and got some great advice from those guys. I'm all over my intellectual property. I've trademarked a name. That went pretty easy. And I've put a patent on the design. So the patent will takes about a year, and calling IP Australia today to see whether I can advertise a patent pending number. So if I can do that, because we launch at the end of the month, and as soon as they get out there, I've done 4. Basically went to 4 of my existing customers and said, I've come up with this idea. Can I use your ute to put one of my nets on for the website? No charge. And of course they said, yeah, no worries. So then when we launch, those 4 utes will be driving around with a net on it, and then my competitors are going to go just like I thought, what an easy idea this is, and then they're going to have a crack at it. So that's when I launch. I've got to launch pretty quickly and pretty full on, so it'd be a lot of social media, all organised. I'm up to marketing plan number 4 and they're all about 10 pages long. So yeah, so a lot of work's gone in it. I don't know how many hours, but I'm well over 500 hours into just getting everything from out of here onto paper. So anyway, we'll just click on. So just up and down. So that's the logo, and obviously it's trademark, which is officially advertised legally it can be advertised on the 1st of October, so I'm just sneaking ahead there a bit, so we won't tell anybody. And yeah, so that's how it all come together. Just as I said, just driving out to the Barellan jail day in, day out, and then so that's what it's about. So the good thing about the design that I've come up with is that it's really cost effective. If you wanted to, because I've been in the industry forever, if you wanted to put rigid signs on your tray-back ute, it's going to cost about $480. In Queensland, if you don't have a net on your ute and you've got stuff in the back, you get fined $220. In New South Wales, if you get caught, it's $430 plus 3 points. So I'm selling these for just under $400, including the GST, and yeah, so it's a bit of a win-win. So it's cheaper than putting rigid signs on your ute, and you can take them off. So if you want to go down the pub and park out the back, just put the net in the front seat, and no one will know you're in there. So Monday morning, you put the net back on, and you're back in business. So that's yeah. So that's the main. It's a bit of a win-win. So that's why I think it's going to be pretty successful. And so then that's the main reason. So it's as I say, it fits all types of utes. So the other good thing it's a bit weird how it all happened, but rally before last, I was travelling with one of my mates, my brother's mate, and he said, "Oh, do you know this guy who does banners and stuff? He's based in the Philippines." And I said, "Oh yeah, I know of him because he went to school with my sister." Anyway, he's got worldwide contracts with F45 and all that sort of stuff. And I told him about the idea. He said, "Yeah, no worries, I can do that." So my selling price is the same. It doesn't matter what it is. So that makes it easy. And so he's based in the Philippines, sort of south of Manila. And then weekend before last, I was at my brother's 60th birthday, and I was talking to Greg on the Tuesday before, and the Monday just gone, I'm talking to him in the Philippines, like face to face. It was just weird how it all happened. So that's pretty exciting. All right, and then, oops, sorry, wrong way. All right, so that's just a little bit about our customised toolboxes. So like I said, there's been a lot of work that's gone into it, and because I've been in the graphic industry for a long time, I also offer an artwork design service as well. So just try to keep everything all in-house. And that's just a little bit about how much money you can lose without having it. And a lot of people, tradies, just forget to put a net on their cargo, and I suppose it's been the last four mornings really early that the Queensland Police on their motorbikes have decided to loop over the gateway. So they start about 4:30 and they finish at 6:30, and they pick up all the tradies without anything on their net. That's what they do. So they probably rack up the Christmas party in one morning. Yeah, so there you go. And so that's why we use, I've been there, sorry. All right, so that's a dual cab. One of the customers that I've just said, "Can I just borrow your ute?"
Wow.
And it, yeah, so as you can see, it really stands out. And
what was the response from the people who were?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's just a win-win. And then because
What's it made of?
it's made of the banner mesh that they use on site fencing, but this particular product is I can't remember the terminology now, but it's actually tougher than the usual stuff that you use. It's what they call a polymeric, and it's because I was a bit worried about how tough it is, so I've done a lot of research. I suppose my biggest research that I did is I tied the net down over a fairly sharp timber crate and got it up the gateway at 110 kilometres an hour and back, good as new. So that's about as good as it's going to get, for that. It is, yeah, just slightly. It's not fully opaque, but it also lets it breathe. And the other reason is if you're driving up the highway, it doesn't flap around that much either. So that's
the better option than the actual. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
The things that you want to kill yourself with when you go to the tip.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're a lot better than that. Yeah. So that's the dual cab, and then and which way are we going? I'm sorry, wrong way. Another dual cab ute, and as you can see, the branding really stands out, and it's fairly.
Is that have they asked you for that sort of design?
That's their logo. So I just said, just give me your logo, and I'll do up a net for you, and because it's obviously my website is logonetaustralia.com.au, which is on every net that you'll see getting around. So it's in the template. So yeah, so when you're following one of these utes and you think, gee, that's a good idea, who does that? And it's me. Yeah. So
what about cleaning?
Yeah, it's just hose it down. There's no issue with it at all. So.
What's the classification of cargo instead of cargo?
Yeah, cargo. So cargo, anything on the back. So whether it's a toolbox, yeah, any legislation really is that it's to stop any debris flying out of the car. That's the legislation.
So even if you have a toolbox that's sitting in the back, it has to have a net over it?
No, just only if you've got loose debris. If you've got a toolbox in the back of your ute, it has to be closed. It can't be open.
Yeah.
And so normally, so it's for any tradie that's got whether it's a shovel or whatever it is in the back of the ute that won't fit in the toolbox. That's where you have to have a cargo net.
So this law only relates to trade, like if we
No. Yeah. So once it's up and running, my new market will be the recreational market for people who've got four-wheel drive and go up the beach fishing. Or if they want to have an image of them catching the big snapper on the back of their car, that's what we do. So yeah. Yeah, it's just the when you're on my website, I've got the the frequently asked questions. So if you've got a truck, sure, no problem. Just that I'm trying to keep it uniform, so it's less work. But if you want I've got a big truck and I want to put a net over it, no problem. Just take some.
Goes a lot further. I mean, in my business,
yeah.
Transporting very large items.
Yeah.
A lot of the freight forwarding companies that move big stuff.
Yeah.
They then use specially made banners that are hanging up on the side of the car that might be covered with a big tarp.
Yeah.
But it's actually not a normal type thing. They were specially made for that one move.
Yeah, okay.
Competitive, and then they chuck them away because one time use. So
well, there's a market. Yeah.
Something like this,
yeah.
which they can reuse.
Yeah, that's right.
So that you always talk containers.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've signed written a few of them. All right. Okay, and this is a lot of work went into this. This is a video that we shot just over the back of the Hungry Jacks there a little while ago. That's Abby, who's just sticking her head up, and this is the promo video that we got together, and we'll just run it. I think it's that one there, Marcel. This one, yeah. As you can see, it's that easy to. So, so I got the I got the kids to do that to just show how easy it is. That's the real reasoning behind that, so they can just see that's how it is. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it, I think. So.